Hey guys, it's Peter. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how I built a wooden stand for my 100-gallon tank. My tank is 60 inches long and 18 inches wide, so I cut 2x4s to match these dimensions. Because I was new to working with wood, I didn't know that 2x4s are not exactly 2 inches by 4 inches. They are more like 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches, so make sure that you take this into account before you cut your wood. Also note that if you get your wood cut at Home Depot, they might not cut the wood very accurately, so I recommend cutting it yourself if possible. At the very top of the picture, I have a 60 by 18 by 3/4 inch piece of plywood that the tank will be sitting on. I would recommend at least 3/4 inch thick because any thinner might be too weak. Next, we have 4 pieces that are 34 inches long, which I call the guides. These pieces don't actually hold the weight of the aquarium, but are important in keeping the stand stable. Below those 4 pieces are 4 60-inch pieces, which are the length of the aquarium. At the bottom left, we have 8 28-inch pieces, which will be bearing most of the weight of the aquarium. And finally, we have 10 15-inch pieces for the width of the stand. They are 15 inches and not 18 inches, because we have to account for the width of the 60-inch pieces. Like I said in the beginning, 2x4s are actually 1.5 inches thick, so subtract about 3 inches off the width of the aquarium. This will make more sense when I switch to the next picture. Midway through this build, I changed my mind about the locations for the 15-inch pieces. For now, just build 2 outer frames and put one 15-inch piece in the middle of each frame. We'll add in the other pieces later. Before you drill the screws in, I recommend using a drill bit and making a pilot hole so that you don't split the wood. You are basically making a hole which allows space for the screw. I chose 3-inch screws and even practiced a little bit on extra pieces of wood that I had before I started. After you have 2 frames with one 15-inch piece in the middle of each frame, screw the guides into one of the frames as shown in the picture. These guides will provide stability and a place for you to screw the weight-bearing pieces to. After the guides are in place, screw in 2 28-inch weight-bearing pieces per guide. This is when I decided to put the other 15-inch pieces directly next to the guides instead of how I had it in the previous picture. I think that this way would provide more support to make sure that the guides do not move. After that, I screwed in the other frame and also added the other 2 15-inch pieces to support the guides. You'll notice that the guides are not flush with the second frame, but this is okay since the guides are not actually holding the weight of the aquarium. I'd rather they be too short than stick out any bit at all. Here's how it looks with the plywood on top of the frame. I never attached the plywood to the frame, so it's really just freely sitting on top. All that's left to do is to stain the wood so that it's nicer to look at. I chose to use this product because it was a stain and weather protectant all in one. Choose a product that's right for you depending on what color you like and if it's going to be inside or outside. And finally, here's another look at the finished aquarium stand. I am very pleased at how this turned out considering it was my first go at building anything. Overall, I spent about $80 on wood, 100 screws, and the stain. If I were to do this all over again, I would make sure that I 100% had all the correct dimensions before I cut the wood. I would have also paid more attention to which pieces of wood to make visible. As you can see, some pieces of wood are not the prettiest and I could have hidden these away by flipping them. I would recommend carefully choosing your wood because as I have found, some pieces at the store may be damaged even before you buy them. Lastly, I would have bought a bigger size of the stain so that I could apply it more generously and have some left over to reapply if needed in the future. I'll be setting up the tank and adding the fish in the next video, so make sure that you subscribe or you're gonna miss it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.